I've spent the last few years trying out new habits and experimenting with different routines to optimize my productivity, with varying degrees of success. So today I'm going to share with you the single most important habit that I've put into place over the last year that has completely shifted the way I view habits altogether. That is, creating a system that supports me holistically in reaching my goals, rather than focusing on pushing myself and using willpower to reach those goals. In his book, Atomic Habits, author James Clear said, "You don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems." For the longest time, I thought that this was just a nice sounding quote, but I hadn't really been able to apply it in my own life until this last year. So first, we'll talk about the difference between a goal and a system, and I'll give you a couple of concrete and hopefully relatable examples. I'll share how I created my own system over the last year, and finally, I'll give you a step-by-step guide to creating your own system. So to begin, what is the difference between a goal and a system? Basically, a goal is a specific, measurable objective that you strive to achieve, often with a fixed endpoint in mind, whereas a system is a set of sustainable processes and habits designed to consistently lead you toward your desired outcome. Goals are important in providing direction, but systems are the means by which you make continuous progress. They focus on the processes and behaviors and the person you need to become in order to reach your destination. Here's a couple of examples to help you understand what I mean by goals versus systems. For the first example, let's say you want to save up money to take an awesome vacation with your family. Our goal for this might be save $6,000 in the next 12 months for this vacation. And that's a great goal. But how are we going to get there? If we were to put a system in place to help us get to this goal, we might say something like, okay, if I want to save $6,000 in the next 12 months, I'll need to save about $500 each month. To do that, I'll set up an automatic transfer of $400 each month from my paycheck directly to my savings account. In addition, I'm spending quite a bit of money each month on going out to dinner. So I'll skip going out to dinner twice a month and put that extra $100 a month into my savings account for the vacation. Do you see the difference? Now we've set up a system for saving the $6,000. We barely need to think about it, and it requires much less willpower, which we can all agree is a finite resource. Here's another example. Let's say I've been feeling pretty stressed and overwhelmed lately. I want to focus on improving my mental health. It's a great goal, love that. But how are we going to get there? If we set up a system for our goal of improving our mental health, I might start by blocking out 3 evenings per week where I will say no to any extra commitments. I can download a meditation app and use that to start meditating regularly. And if I feel it would be helpful, I can start seeing a therapist or a mental health professional to help focus on that area of my life. Now I'd like to share an example from my own life of how this played out. I used to have a lot of trouble cooking for myself at home. First off, I wasn't a very good cook, so my home-cooked meals didn't actually taste very good. Second, it was so much easier to just order food from DoorDash and have delicious food delivered right to my door. I had set a goal for myself of cooking more healthy meals at home, but I didn't really get any momentum going or see any lasting changes in my habits. So I decided to try setting up a system. First, I deleted the DoorDash app off of my phone and canceled the subscription. Second, I invested in some cooking classes and read some books about basic cooking techniques so I could learn more about how to actually prepare nutritious and great tasting meals at home. Finally, I started a subscription to the Instacart app so that I could always have fresh groceries delivered to my home, even when I was feeling too tired or busy to go grocery shopping. These systems worked together and supported me in my desired goal of cooking more healthy meals at home. And now, almost a year later, cooking for myself at home is now the default, and I rarely even think about ordering from DoorDash anymore. Now, let's talk about the steps you can use to create your own system to reach any goal. I've broken it down into 6 simple steps. Step number 1 is to clearly define your goal and why you want to reach it. Why is it important that you would achieve this goal? I would encourage you to think about your goal as something that's actually important to you, or is it just something that someone else expects of you? If it's the latter, you might want to reconsider if you actually care about this goal. Step number 2 is to break down the goal into clearly defined milestones. As an example, if you have a goal of losing 20 pounds, you might want to focus on 5-pound milestones. Or if you're trying to save $6,000 for that vacation we talked about earlier, you might focus on each $500 increment of savings. This will help each step seem more attainable and realistic so that you don't get overwhelmed while working toward your goal. It will also allow you to celebrate small wins more often, which can help keep you motivated. Step number 3 is to identify things that will help you reach your goal and put systems in place to make it easier to do them. To use my own example from earlier in the video, I made it easier for myself to cook more at home by improving my cooking skills and by having groceries delivered from Instacart. So to put a system around those things, I signed myself up for cooking classes and purchased books that would help support me in learning to be a better cook. Step number 4 goes hand in hand with step number 3, and that is to identify the things that will impede or hinder your progress toward this goal and put systems in place to make it harder to do them. From my cooking example, this included deleting my DoorDash app and canceling the membership. If you want to drink less alcohol, stop keeping alcohol in the house. If you want to focus on your mental health, stop making plans with people who cause you stress, within reason, of course. Step number 5 is to track your progress. Sometimes the journey to our goals is slow and tedious, so it can be helpful to focus on small daily wins by tracking each time you take a desired action. There are apps that can help you track your habits, or you can just make notes in your calendar, whatever works for you, to help visualize the consistency you are creating with your new system. Finally, step number 6 is to acknowledge and celebrate small wins. Remember those small milestones from step 2? Celebrate whenever you achieve one of them. I find that when we just keep going all the time, we don't pause to celebrate our wins, and it increases our chances of burnout and giving up. So make sure you celebrate your small successes. This doesn't need to be anything huge. Maybe you go out to dinner or treat yourself to a massage or buy a new piece of clothing, whatever that looks like for you. I hope this video has helped you think a little bit more about systems and goals and how building effective systems can actually help you reach your goals with less resistance and stress. Let me know in the comments what system you're going to put in place so we can all cheer for each other's success. If you enjoyed this video, you also might enjoy this other video I made about how I plan my day to keep on track toward my goals within my systems. I'll post a link to that video here if you want to check it out. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.